Hello and welcome to this series of videos designed to help you create your own dance music pieces using specific techniques in Logic 9. We're going to start by creating a piece of house music. As you may know, there are lots of different genres, lots of different types of house music, but we're all going to start with a piece of house music, and then later on, as you get better with the techniques, you can choose a different style of dance music for yourself. The first technique we're going to look at is penciling in a dance rhythm, and this is a technique that you're going to be assessed on, and it's important that you do it in the way that I'm going to show you now. So let's go ahead, open up Logic 9 and start to pencil in our house dance drum rhythm. My Logic 9 is over here, yours may well be in the dock on the bottom of your screen, but we can see it's opening up now, and I know it's opening up because it says Logic Pro in the top left of my screen over here. We might get some boxes that we have to click our way through, and that's all good. Logic Pro's up here. I'm going to click File up in the top left over here, New, and we're going to select an empty project. You can click through this box, you may get a box that says something like that, and we get choices, don't we? Choice between an audio, a software instrument, or an external MIDI track to get us going. We need to choose a software instrument track because we're going to use some drum sounds within Logic 9 to create our dance drum rhythm. So software instrument, create, and there we go. Now we need to find the drum sounds that we need. To do that, you want to come over here to the left hand side, and this little I-O means in and out, and right now I've got something called an EVP88, which is an electric piano, and we need to click on there and select something else. We need to find this one, Ultrabeat Drum Synth. It will be in your list, so have a good look, and we're going to choose the stereo version of Ultrabeat Drum Synth. When we do that, it opens up this amazing looking drum machine, but we don't need to worry too much about the details of this right now. But what we might want to do is to come up here to its menu. Here it says default, but it's got a drop down menu, so find that, click and hold, and keep clicking and holding and go to drum kits. We've got a big list of different drum kit sounds. Because we're going to make a piece of house music, it might be a good idea to choose some drum sounds with the word house in their title. And there's a few, but the one I suggest you use is this one, Deep House Kit. If you want to choose another one with house in the title, just to be different, you can do. I don't mind, but make sure you choose one that says house somewhere in its title. I'm going to go with this one, Deep House Kit. Once you've done that and it says Deep House Kit there, you can close it down by clicking on the left hand side. We don't need to worry about that anymore for the moment. That's closed down. What we are going to do now is to pencil in an empty region over here so that we can fill it with drum notes. To do that, we need to come to our toolboxes over here on the right hand side. We've got two toolboxes. We want the left hand one. We click and pick up our pencil tool. Once you picked up your pencil tool, you come back over here, and in this space here, in this first bar, you just click once to create what we call an empty region. When you've done that, you can put your pencil back and pick up your pointer. The next thing we need to do is to double click now on this empty region that we've made, and that will bring up our piano roll editor. Now I'm just going to drag this upwards. See, I'm going to the edge of it, and I'm going to drag it upwards to give myself a bit more space. And I'm also going to zoom in a little bit using these sliders over here, just to make it a bit bigger so I can see a bit more clearly what I'm doing. I went the wrong way there, but that's it. That's a little bit clearer for me. Okay, so you found your way to the piano roll editor and you've made it a little bit bigger with these sliders over here so that you can see what you're doing. Now, the different drum sounds are assigned to these keyboard notes over here. We need to scroll up or down until we can see the note C1. There's C1 there. You can see I've already penciled in a note, but I'm going to get rid of that for the moment. There's C1, and this is where our kick drum sound is going to be. And we need to find the C1 because we're going to pencil in a 4 on the floor kick drum pattern, which goes with house music. It's called 4 on the floor, as you know by now, because the kick drum happens on each beat of the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's that solid kick drum rhythm, which is a characteristic of house music. So let's go ahead and pencil that in. We're going to come over here to your toolboxes. We're going to choose the left-hand toolbox and we're going to pick up our pencil. There it is. And then we come back over here. We make sure we're next to the note C1 and we're going to click in that first grey box next to the note C1. Then we're going to leave 3 blank boxes and then we're going to click another one. Leave 3 blank, click another one. Leave 3 blank, click another one. And that is our 4 on the floor kick drum. If I loop it round by doing this, just looping it round that one bar, we can hear it. Here it comes. There's our 4 on the floor kick drum. Just for a little bit of variation, I'm going to add another kick drum note there in that last bar, and it's going to sound like this. So far, so good. Now we need to add some snare drum. And our snare drum sound is going to be on this note here, C, D, E. There it is. So find that note, test it by clicking on the keyboard note there. And we're going to add the snare. The snare needs to come in line with this second kick drum beat, right there, and in line with this 4th kick drum note. And we've got this. Just for a little bit of variation, I'm going to add one more snare note and I'm going to put it there. You can add one more and experiment with where you want to put it, but make sure that that is lined up with that kick drum, and you've got another snare drum lined up with that kick drum, and then just put one more in a place of your choice. Mine sounds like this. Okay, now I'm going to pencil in some hi-hat sounds. Hi-hat, yeah, there we go. There's a closed hi-hat. It's on that black note there, which is an F sharp. But you'll see it's the first of that group of 3, and mine sounds like that. Right, let's pencil in a closed hi-hat part. In line with that note, I'm going to put one there. I'm going to put one there. I'm going to put one there. And one there. And that sounds like this. Simple enough. My aim is to keep this relatively simple because the main beats in house music are pretty simple with solid 4 on the floor patterns. But I am going to add some open hi-hat sounds to make it a bit more interesting. The open hi-hat, I think we're going to find on this black note right here. Let's test it. That's the sound I want. Right, let's pencil in some open hats. I'm going to put one there. I'm going to put one there. I'm going to put one there. And I'm going to put one there. Now this really should start to sound like a house dance drum beat. Here it comes. Job done. Now yours should look something like this. Doesn't have to be exactly like this, although we definitely need a 4 on the floor kick drum, and we definitely need snares on 2 and 4. You've got a bit more flexibility where you put the closed hi-hats and the open hi-hats. But don't go too mad. Try and keep it simple because that's a characteristic of house music. That's the first one done, but that's not the end of the story because we want you to create 3 of these rhythms, slightly different with slightly different variations. So you're going to end up with 3 house rhythms up here, and you can decide where and how to use them in your track. I'll give you a little tip. when you've done your first one, when you come to create your next one, go to this button here, because that's going to add a new track with the same sounds that you had before. New track with duplicate setting. Do one there and one there. And you can see, even though it says EVP88 electric, it's got the Ultra Beat there ready for you to use. If I was being really professional, I might double click on that and name that Beat 1. And I might name this one Beat 2. And this one Beat 3. And of course what I should do, and I haven't shown you yet, is to save my work. I've got to name and save it. Should have done that right at the beginning. So let's just run through quickly a reminder. We come up to File, Save As. And you're going to call this your name. I'm going to call this Mr. Smith Dance Piece 1. And you save it on the desktop in your folder. There should be a folder with your name in it on the desktop. You need to find that and save it there. I'm going to click Save now. And now as I go along and I keep working, every few minutes I can do Command S on the keyboard as a shortcut, and that's going to save my work in the right place. So your job now is to create your first house drum beat and then try and create 2 more with slight variations to give you a mini bank of ideas for your drum beat.